If ever there's a day they cut your hands, it's worth it. They cut Abal Fazl too. And if ever there's a day they kill your children, then they look to take out Abbas's children too. But I don't know how many of you will ever have an arrow stuck in your eye looking for water. That's the moment, yes? One of the ulama who used to sit on the minbar, he said, I was reciting the Masa'ib of Abal Fazl. He said, when I finished the Masa'ib, I went home that night. In my sleep, I saw Fatima al-Zahra alayha salam. The lovers of Fatima, this is your night, because Abbas is Fatima's son. He said, I saw Fatima al-Zahra that night in my dream. She was crying and crying. He said to her, my lady, did I recite something wrong in my majlis? She said to him, no, no, you didn't. He said, then why'd you cry? She said, whenever you recite about Abal Fazl, there's one line I want you to recite. He said to her, what is it, my lady? She said, normally when someone falls off their horse, they fall with their hands in front of them. My Abal Fazl fell with no hands. In Iraq a few years ago, there was this young boy sitting by the grave of Abal Fazl, yes, sitting by the grave. And while he was sitting by the grave, his feet, he could never stand on them. And he never had hands. And so his wish had always been, can I one day do matam for Imam al-Hussein? Because wallah, the biggest honor, I repeat it and I repeat, is that I can strike my hand on my chest for Abu Abdullah. Do you know why? Because I remember the chest of Abu Abdullah, the way the horses trampled on it, yes? So he was sitting there night of the 8th or night of the 7th of Muharram, he's sitting down, and everyone's doing matam for Abbas, Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas. And his dream was one day, can I do matam, but I have no hands, and I have no feet to stand on. He says at that moment a young man came walking towards me, yes? Looked like he was in his 30s. He said to me, why don't you stand up? He said, if I had feet, I would stand up, but my feet are crippled. So he said, he told me, okay, stand now. He said, for the first time in my life, I stood. Then he said, why don't you strike your hands for Abbas? He said, I don't have the hands. He looked at me and he said, wallah, if I had hands, I'd give them to you. But they took my hands on the 10th of Muharram.